Hello and welcome to RuMayoNation episode 12. What do I normally say here? Something about the titles. I tried to be like more mysterious then, like I didn't know what was going on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. By the way, one of the best fancy dresses I've seen, don't know what happened there. Ray Winston came out. One of the best fancy dresses I have seen is anyone that goes out as those two guys from X Factor. You know the one who sings like, I stop and stare at you. And then he's like, come on, move your body.
Whoa, 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 mysterious girl, move your body close to mine.
Come on, move your body. Come on, move your body.
I stop and stare at you, walking on the shore. I try to concentrate, my mind wants to explore. The tropical scene of you.
I love really niche fancy dress. And that is like right up there. Like it's not even that much either, like a yellow tank top, I think, and then like, you know, do your little X Factor sticker. Because do you know what's like really bad about that, like that whole audition while we're here? Right, let's just front load this, okay? This has been recorded on a Saturday. I am span out right now. Yes, the Pro Plus has gone in. It was actually needed. This wasn't a PED. This was just to get like something like normal. My daughter's got scarlet fever at the minute. And it's just been fucking brutal, man. Getting those antibiotics in, it's a bad time all round. She's doing loads better now, but I've also got like a crazy week coming up. So normally I record this on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday for the Friday release. This is the Saturday before. It's the 2nd of November. So if anything mad happens in the next few days, and then I say something now that sounds really culturally sort of insensitive, it's because, you know, I can't predict the future. Sometimes I have to pre-record bits on my radio show. Revolution Radio, Horizon Radio, Drive Time. You can check it out. And like I have to pre-record sometimes, and then like something will happen in the news, and I'm like, oh shit, I've got to like go for a mental inventory of like, everything I've said. Sort of like anything I could have said that people might think, well, that's really insensitive considering X, Y, Z has just happened. But just know that this is recorded on Saturday. So yeah, I've got a crazy week coming up. So I thought, get this in the can. I could do the editing throughout the week. I'm gonna have less opportunities to be able to actually like do this without disturbance. I can kind of get on with the editing stuff in the evenings, but while I've got natural light, here we are. So it's been recorded on Saturday. Hopefully you guys are having a good weekend so far. This makes no sense me saying that because it's coming out on Friday. Hopefully you've had a good week as always. But yeah, basically I'm a bit spun out. It's a bit weird. I like niche fancy dress. So yeah, like the worst part about the audition, and I've got my digression pad for those who are watching, so if I get distracted, I can get back to it. But coming up, by the way, I'll need to go and get it actually. I've won. Insert meme clip, whatever, of Walter White saying, I've won. I think he says that.
What happened?
I won.
Against Royal Mail. Also, for some reason, my wife just always opens the door and we'll have a conversation with whoever happens to have knocked. Basically, like anything you think, that's something you shouldn't do in a horror film. She seems to be the person that would do that, including just opening the door arbitrarily. It's 2024. No friends are just dropping by. If they are, they're getting dropped as friends. Yeah, bit of Halloween fallout from the Halloween celebrations over the weekend around the village. And I've got an opinion on fireworks. Shock. And also we're going to our Facebook memories. Also bring you up to date on the doppelganger stuff I did last week. There's been some more suggestions. Not all of them I'm thrilled with. No more Carl Pilkingtons. I think I'm going to trust my wife when she says, I think people were basically, it became a game of who has a buzz cut and bushy eyebrows, because quite a few of them you think, no, I don't look like that. It's just that we've both got really short hair and unkempt eyebrows. And I know that, you know, it's quite fashionable to sort of like have thick eyebrows, but I think you're supposed to like brush them or thread them, and I'm not doing any of that. It just looks like someone's fucking doing like a cheese wire on your eyebrows. No thank you. But yes, we'll give a little doppelganger update. Also address the fact that I seem to have a weird taste in women. My wife gave me a very good example of that, which I'll share in a bit. But anyway, that audition in X Factor, what was the shame really is that one of them could actually sing all right. Like, not great, but you see some of the ones who got through, and again, perhaps quite controversially, One Direction, individually, some of them not great singers, but he could like hold a tune. He was in key, but it's his little dipstick brother. Come on, move your body. But then equally, they're now notorious for that because he might have progressed on his own. You know, he weren't going to win the show. And then he would have slid off into obscurity. Some would argue that haven't got like dickhead brain like me that they already are there now. But the fact people are dressing up as them for fancy dress means they're, you know, they're within the cultural zeitgeist now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, come on, move your body. Like, it used to go around, didn't it? Like, you know, you want to go do something, take your little brother too. And it's like, that is like the epitome of that. But I love a niche fancy dress so much so. Me and my wife, I'm watching Dream Team, you know, the show on Sky. Harchester United, you know, it's got footballers' wives, but more emphasis on the football side. And I used to watch it as a kid, so I'm watching it for all the sweet, sweet nosts. But my wife is having to watch it because I insist on body doubling, which apparently is an ADHD thing. Which is, I don't care if you do it with me or like are actively engaged. I just need you next to me while I do things that I enjoy. And she'll say she doesn't care, but she cares. She'll sit there and go, "Oh yeah, good one, Ryan Naismith. Like your dad's literally the manager of the club." She knows the names, she knows what's going on, and she'll pretend she doesn't care. But really, I think like anything, if you sit and watch it long enough, you have like a passing interest. Do you know what I mean? Like if my wife watched, like she used to watch Love Island, and then eventually, like I'll be like, "Oh, this is shit. This is fucking dreadful." As if he's actually left Maura like that. Like she's like, I'm getting straight in then. Like I can't believe Luke would do that. That's muggy. Like I come up with Casa Amor. I think that's what it was called. But yeah, I love niche fancy dress. So I said to my wife, if ever now we go and do like fancy dress for any occasion, we're going as Carl and Abby Fletcher from Dream Team. It's solved. It's settled. It's happening. She's like the physio, so Emily will have to like rock like basically just a Lecoq Sportif tracksuit. Although in the latest season, that's now just a black triangle where Lecoq Sportif have probably heard about it over in like Paris. What? A random Midlands fictional club whose team dies in coach explosions and someone got assassinated. They're using our sports brand to represent their football club. What? There was match fixing scandal and like they had to like choose the last game of the season. Like basically they got like in trouble for match fixing because the manager put a bet on the club to go down. It's never a dull moment at the Dragon's Lair. And like the FA's decision was you have to choose. They're either in the FA Cup final or like fighting for relegation. Like last game of the season, they were only allowed to play one game. So it's all drama. So Lecoq Sportif have blatantly gone like Sacre Bleu. But you can tell it blatantly still is Lecoq Sportif. By the way, said the words Lecoq Sportif more times in 2024 than anyone. That's a record. But yeah, she'd have to wear like a tracksuit, like purple eyeshadow because they wear purple. And she's already got the blonde hair. I'm a bit in love with Abby, I've got to say. But like that, oh man, that actually is relevant to what's going on later on as well. I don't have to note it because it is coming up. But Abby's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. But anyway, we'll get to that. But then I've already got a Carl Fletcher, like Harchester United shirt. And I feel like it'd be really good fancy dress. I think it'd be good. And like, I say this, but then remember already, just remix the word remember then. Remember, I wore that Carl Fletcher Harchester United shirt to like one day at Truckfest. Man, a few people wanted photos of me, which is really cool. Like, you know, and you presume it's because of the podcast, but it hadn't started by at that point. But like, recognise it, innit? And that was good crack in the day. You either got left alone, or every now and then you get a tap on the shoulder like, "Mate, love that. Can I get a picture?" And it's like, "Yeah, of course you can, man. It's great." One guy had a photo of me, then another person had a photo of me, then some random was like a couple of like, oh, there must have been like 18, 19-year-old girls were like, "Oh, can we have a photo too?" And I was like, "Yeah, but do you know why they want a photo with me?" They were like, "No." I was like, "It's the shirt, it's not me." And they were like, "Oh, okay." And then just walked off. And that was all fine and a good laugh. But in the evening, man, when I'm in like John Kennedy, was it John Kennedy? That's one of the one that didn't get assassinated in America, who does DJing, Radio X, right? When I'm there and it's like fucking 11:30, midnight, and you got some like 19-year-old dad like, what team's that then? And I'm like, oh, it's like Harchester United. It's like this, like a fictional club from the Midlands. Like there's a TV show called Dream Team on Sky One. Sky One's like this TV channel. Like you'd have to watch what was on in that given moment. You couldn't just like stream it and pause it and stuff. There's adverts every 10 to 13 minutes, and I can't believe we just accepted that was fine, by the way. 13 minutes of programming. Sometimes when you watch The Simpsons on Sky One, 7 minutes in, you're getting Pringles adverts. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, it's and like, so they're not really a real team, and they're just looking at you like really intensely because obviously they've had a few disco biscuits, and they're like, okay, right, yeah, and I'm like, it's just not. So like, what league are they in? I was like, well, they were in the Premier League, like. They got into an FA Cup final once, but then there was like a coach crash. It was the whole thing, and like it's fucking hell. It's like, this isn't a real team. And then you go to the next one, and someone else looks at your badge, and they're like, and you're like, oh fucking hell, what have I done? Like, what have I done? But yeah, it'd be good fancy dress until I have to keep explaining what it is. My wife's not fully signed off on it, but I think it's a bit of a slam dunk. She's not going to care that much. She'll just do it because it's easier than not doing it because I won't fucking drop it. But yeah, so basically, like niche fancy dress, I've had some horrific fancy dress in my life, by the way. I went out as Oscar Pistorius once. I'm going to get cancelled for that one day. I maintain it was a really good outfit. It was after the whole, like, you know... in my defence, he had literally just shot his wife, allegedly. I don't know, no, got prosecuted. He did, that's what he did. But yeah, that's going to come back to bite me one day. I went out as Cactus Jack once as well. I'll try and find a photo of that. I won't put the Pistorius one up. It's just not happening. But the Cactus Jack one, I was quite proud of that back in the uni days. But yeah, I love a niche bit of fancy dress. But yeah, so like, anyway, I'll go on. Okay, I'll go on to like what I was going to say now. So last week, you'll notice the episode was called It's Doppelganger Bitch, I believe. And I said, any Britney, any era. Okay, and for those who couldn't like assimilate what I was saying is that like, and do not go full Stormzy about it. We have to like, but because you never like.
As I promise, like, and even it's been a weird these past few months. Knowing
I'm just saying, like, I just think she's fundamentally attractive, and it didn't really matter what era. I think it's because she's always been a staple in my life, whether she's sort of, you know, pretty, cute, innocent Britney of the late 90s, getting a bit more sort of like raunchy, red PVC, you know, skimpy, sort of latex suit Britney. Then there's obviously like the I'm going to shave all my hair off because of my handlers Britney. And then there's been sort of weird Instagram dancing, knife swirling Britney. And I'm just saying, for some reason, I always find her attractive. And from that, I kind of deduced that, like, whenever I watch TV shows, I quite like it when they look like they've just had a bit of a rough time of it. I'm kind of like, yeah, if they've gone through like some really intense action sequence, this is what I was saying last week, like, or just, yeah, they're falling on bad times and they're not in their best moment, I'll be like, weirdly hotter, and my wife will be like, no, you have issues. And she came up with the perfect example of that, right? Angelina Jolie, right? Widely regarded as beautiful, right? And I'm sure I'm okay to say that. She's beautiful. But I'm not really that into her that much. Like, and just as sort of sidestep, but still on point. So my mate and me, we've had this conversation a couple of times. It's mental, and guys do this, right? And this isn't good. It isn't a good thing, but it's a thing that happens, right? And guys will just say the words, yeah, I would. And it could be about, like, you know, Scarlett Johansson. It could be about, you know, just like Abby in Dream Team. I'll get a picture up of her. She's, you know, really perfectly pretty, attractive woman, right? And more so, actually, my wife hates it because it's not just her looks. She's kind, she's caring, she's got a bit of banter. She could take a bullet like a champ.
Just wait, put your gloves on, okay?
Yeah, okay.
I think it's only a phase.
And that's important when you're in Dream Team. But, like, we'll say, like, yeah, I would. And it's like, oh, would ya? Like, it's such, like, a stupid bloke thing to say. Yeah, I would. Oh, you would have sex with her, would you? Yeah, I would. Oh, that's really good of you. Fucking hell, you're the next Bob Geldof. How philanthropic of you. You would have sex with that attractive woman, would you? Yeah, I would, yeah. Like, would they go anywhere near you? Separate issue. Separate question. Not relevant. Not pertinent to this story.
Your Honor, I object!
And why is that, Mr. Reed?
Because it's devastating to my case!
Overruled.
Good call!
And we just always think, like, it's quite funny. And it's like, it's objectifying women and all these things are naughty. So, okay, we'll just get that out of the way. But also, don't be naive. I don't think it's just me. A guy will watch a show or they see a woman and usually, like, one of the first things they think is, oh, they're attractive, i.e. would I, right? And that's just how it is. And never act on it, you know, unless there's consent and you know, put the hard yards in to charm them and, you know, demonstrate your good traits to them. But it's just fucking hilarious that we'll just sit there like slobs in shitty deck chairs, swigging warm lager, being like, yeah, I would. And it's like, yeah, but they wouldn't. But, like, that doesn't even come into it. And it's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But when it's like Megan Fox and it's like, God, yeah, I would. Would ya? Would you really? fucking, it's so stupid. So stupid. And it must, I don't know, maybe women do it. You know, sometimes I presume that women don't. Like, you know, we know they don't poo and stuff like that. But, like, I feel like maybe they are just as bad for it. Like, guys, you know how girls that love a stitch and a bitch? Guys are just as bitchy. We just do it when we're playing, like, we'll just shoot the shit playing video games. But we're still, like, you know, if you talk to your man about, like, someone at work that you hate, I hate this woman that my wife works with. And I don't know her. I've never met her. But I'm already team in that. And I'm very anti, and I've never met her. But like, we get right in. Oh, yeah, you're right. That's Siobhan. Yeah, she sounds like a right bitch. Her name isn't Siobhan, by the way. I've put her name in there. Random name. Not going to get my wife in grief. But, like, even in past jobs as well. Like, I'm writing. What, and the head of geography did that? Yeah, all right, mate. Fucking hell. Listen, you teach me about sedimentary rocks and longshore drift. Like, slow your roll. Like, guys love a bitch. I feel like women are just as, like, you know, I mean, I've been on stage and women just, like, grabbing at my calves. Like, so I guess it's, you know, maybe we're more alike than people are comfortable admitting. I don't know. But anyway, it's fucking hilarious that, like, you know, you would say, like, Angelina Jolie. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd probably, I would. Like, she's fucking, they were like Brad Pitt and stuff, right? Yeah, Brangelina. Like, yeah, you ain't Brad Pitt, you are not. As the doppelganger challenge has proved, that I will get through some more doppelgangers that I got told I look like, and none of them are pulling Angelina Jolie. But anyway, to get to my point, where I find her the most attractive, Gone in 60 Seconds when she's Sway. Picture there. So you see what I'm saying? Like, she's stunning. Like, and I'm sure there's loads of films people go, she's so, you know, she's beautiful, isn't she? But for me, white sort of blondish dreadlocks, like look a bit haggard and scruffy, I'm like, bang, yes, I would. Would she? Not important. Right, let's get to some more doppelgangers then. I'll put some pictures up. I say I've got no more Carl Pilkington, but I've had a few more, and I will put the pictures up. We'll make this nice and quick. Jesse Pinkman, Breaking Bad. I do get that quite a few times. Aaron Paul. Like, again, buzz cut again. I reckon a bit more than just a buzz cut. I do kind of knock at the door, of course. Bear with. Probably recording on Saturdays. Told you can shut up as well. Go away. The boys are at that age. The boys are at that age where people are knocking for them, and sometimes they turn up in like football attire from other from other clubs, and like I want to give them a bit of shit, but they're like 11, so you got to kind of like get it right. But that's our neighbours, who, you know, parents do listen to the podcast, so they're good kids, to be fair. They're sweet lads. I don't mind them knocking about with them. I will say they're a bit awkward at the dispatch part of the conversation at the door. They'll knock up and it's all confident, it's all happy, and I'm like, right, the boys are at their dad's. Actually, they're back tonight, and they'll go, okay. And then they'll just sort of look at you. And I love that, like, their dad will be listening to this. But they'll just sort of look at you, like, as in, okay, right, so, you know, unless you want to come feature on the podcast, like, yeah, they're at their dad's. Are you waiting for directions? You want to, like, walk the 15, 20 miles away that they are? But yeah, they just sort of look at you, and then I'll have to sort of start slowly closing the door. But yeah, so anyway, where was I? To be fair, that distraction is not on me. Jesse Pinkman. Right, okay. Frankie Muniz, who played Malcolm in the Middle. And again, I think it's head shape. I kind of see that a little bit. That guy's made it, by the way. He's got it down, because his whole thing has been, I made a fucking bucket load from that. And I've done a few films. None of them great. Give a fuck. I'm loaded. I'm set for life. I'm comfortable. And I wish I had more things in common with him. Dax Shepard. I've just got the name here, and it says Day Shepherd, as if there's another kind. Let me just run a quick Google there. Oh no, he's the one who was in. He's been in like comedy films and stuff, hasn't he? Yeah, I know the one. I remember him now. I'm not entirely sure if I agreed with that one. Trevor Royal from Hollyoaks. Again, I think that's just buzz cut. I don't look like him. Like, he's far more rugged looking than me. This weird cunt that's getting beeped. Someone posted that, and again, I don't have to take the piss, but one too many people have liked it. Not thrilled. Tim Roth as well, and again, ish. One person just said, in the photo of you in the red top, you look exactly like my ex-husband. And I'm like, okay, cool. So's about that. Like, I felt like that she wanted to then go, who's a bastard, by the way? Ask about his maintenance. Yeah, not paying it. Not going to get into it. One person said, the third picture, you look exactly like my friend Drew Bahorovich. I thought it was him. Hasn't uploaded a picture of Mr. Bahorovich. So, you know, going to presume the worst, that it's the same one who's like, you've ruined me holiday.
Thanks for this. That's right, my holiday. Hang on a moment.
Yeah, so there you go. My doppelgängers. And actually, not one person said I would. And that's upsetting. Right, we're back in. First and foremost, Harchester United. Fletcher. The man, the myth, the legend. But what I was actually going to get, grammar's all over the place there. What I was actually going to get, I'm going to sort of like flash it. That's a check, ladies and gentlemen. Now I will say it feels like they've been dickheads there from Royal Mail, but it is the reimbursement to my my postal issues, and part of me just wants to frame it, put it on the wall as just a marker to let people that I'm not to be trifled with, you know. Dear Mr. Mayo, I'm writing to you following my email on the 26th of October. As advised, enclosed is a cheque for £7.95 as a gesture of goodwill. Fuck off with that. It is entirely your fault. Regarding your special delivery, I'm not that person, personally. They're not in charge of the whole coding issue. And I'm familiar with that as a problem. You know, we used to work in retail and it's like, oh, this is far too much money for a blouse. Do you really think I do the fucking pricing, mate? Like, you're lucky I've turned up and remembered my lanyard today. I work 8 hours a week. Get the fuck off my case. I hope you will again accept my sincere apologies on behalf of the Royal Mail for any annoyance, or I think they've used that word based on the sort of the pros of my complaint, or inconvenience we may have caused you, and our thanks for taking the time to make us aware of this matter. I took a lot, I wrote my fucking screenplay basically. I'd like to take this opportunity to inform you that if you're unhappy with my response in any way, you can ask to have your case reviewed by the postal review panel. Already done it, mate. Me and King Charles are tight. He gets it. He agrees. They can be contacted by writing, blah, 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 blah. Yours sincerely, Nicole Gammon. What an unfortunate last name. Escalated Customer Resolution Team. Boom. Read him and weep, bitches. So anyway, yeah. Needless to say, I got the last laugh. M. Are we in agreement that we're going as Carl and Abby Fletcher? Yeah, there you go. There's the agreement. So, she's like, yeah. To be fair, she used to be a PE teacher. She's got the tracksuits. We can make some sort of like botched up Lecoq Sportif. I say a bit of purple eyeshadow. We're away. Like, Dream Team's fucking great, man. I don't care. What I will say is the music's like a little bit on the nose. Like, you know, if someone's going through like, you know, it's always Oasis, stop crying your heart out if they're crying. But like sometimes you think, Jesus, like this is far too on the nose. Like, how do they find these tracks that the lyrics seem to correspond to exactly what's going on? Part of me wonders if they listen to the music first and then write the stories around it. Like Jamie Parker went Doolally and then like took match fixing bungs, and you know, then he had this whole thing with Tash and his daughter, and then he ends up holding up the team at gunpoint in half time of the last game of the season. And I'm amazed he didn't have a track by like Travis to like Jamie Parker's got a gun in the changing rooms. Clyde Connolly's in the bathroom. He don't know what's going on. Like it's too like specific. Stuart Naismith, he's got a problem with his calf muscles. We don't know what the seriousness of it is, but luckily his son is fit. Like it's very too on the nose. Do you know what I mean? But you know. I was going to do one then, but straight away my brain went, this is going down the route we just don't want to go down, because if I'm freestyling a song, it's not for public consumption. I'm very good at it, but it's not always very politically correct. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Yeah, so my wife and daughter are home now, so it's a bit weird. Like, I'm feeling like a slight shift in the ambience. Normally I've got like at least my daughter asleep, but she's awake. And yeah, she's had scarlet fever, man. And do you know what? I'll make it today's unacceptable. Megan.
Excuse me, Megan, that behaviour's unacceptable. I don't like it.
Today's unacceptable is like why they can't, like scientists. I do a weird news feature on the radio show where, and quite often it's sort of scientists doing different things. So they're, you know, scientists are, you know, putting the final bits in place for cloning a mammoth, or scientists have discovered that this particular type of spider really likes cottage cheese. And it's like, I always find myself thinking, could we not be spending more time doing things that are more important with our scientific brains on this planet, right? Principally, making antibiotics not taste like shit. Because there's this one that she can't have. It's like raspberry flavour. It isn't raspberry flavour, unless that raspberry's gone through the digestive system of a fucking goblin. It tastes of shit. But she can't have it. And I'm not talking like, oh, she don't like this one. Do you have it in Kinder Egg flavour? As in, she'll have it, cry and be sick, like immediately. But apparently then that's the only one that works for scarlet fever, because she tends to get on a you got to get on a bit better with that yellow banana one. Again, doesn't taste like banana, tastes like yellow shit, but she can at least tolerate that. But that one doesn't work for scarlet fever. So she's got to have this other one for people that are like allergic to penicillin, and it's white and apparently tastes slightly nicer, in the same way that probably one person's shit tastes slightly nicer to another's based on what he's eaten the day before. I'm sure you're still eating shit. But she's like, it is more granular and lumpy. So then texturally, she's like, oh, what the fuck? And again, had some, puked up immediately. But then you start panicking because she's like, the next phase would be like a tube that's going to like literally put it straight into her stomach. And it's like, fuck, man. Don't want that. Because here's the thing with kids, right? They get very ill very quickly with things that need antibiotics. She's had tonsillitis loads of times. But after about 24 hours, if you can just get antibiotics in, 90% of the way they're there. Like they're nearly home and hosed. A little bit sort of a bit clingy, but the bulk of the shit is done. But you've just got to get it in to start with. And yeah, otherwise it'd be like an IV and it's like, oh fuck, like, So but anyway, we've started to slowly get it in. But what I'm saying is, we can make protein shakes taste a certain way. We're getting flavoured vapes out the fucking wazoo. Like, you got kids huffing custard creams vapes. You're telling me you can't make antibiotics not taste like the piss of a Monster Energy drink drinker. Do you know what I mean? Like, sort it out, man. Unacceptable.
Megan?
I will say as well, when I was in the pharmacy, I'm still deaf, right? I can like my ears out. I'm kind of seeing it in a different light now. I'm kind of using it like a superpower, because if I'm feeling like I need to have like 4K audio, I'll like my ears. I'll do it now again, right? And then boom, the world's really loud again. But I did it, and it lasted like, it's kind of like, in video games when you have your power and then there's like a cooling off period. It's like the reverse though, because sometimes I want it to stop being so clear because people are fucking annoying me. So I did that in the pharmacy, and then a kid came in and was just like screaming and shouting, and I was like, oh for fuck's sake, I've peaked, I've gone too early with the ear, because I want to be able to hear the conversation of like, this is how much you give them, blah 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 blah. But I went too early on the ear pop. But I think like I don't really want it to be healed now, because I can like tune in. Like now it's like crystal clear. But sometimes I want the world to just shut the fuck up a bit. So yeah, like when I was in the doctors with my daughter and they were like looking in her ear, part of me went, could you just look? But then I thought, no, I don't want to know, because again, see, superpower, like weaponized deafness. It's actually good. It's all about perception. Yeah. That clip was so fucking loud. Oh, yeah, okay, so I said I was going to talk about that girl nearly like dying on her own spit in Tesco. This was like 2 weeks ago now. And I just done my first aid course, and it felt like, like if I say to you, oh, look for green cars, all of a sudden confirmation bias and stuff, your attention to the green car, the greenness of a car, you'll start seeing loads of green cars. And like where I just done some first aid, all of a sudden it felt like I was like Charlie Fairhead in fucking Casualty, and just always needing to be like aware of people that need my sort of assistance. And like... I was just in Tesco, like mooching, just something to do, had my little girl with me, and then I just see like this employee sort of like, like choking. I was like, oh fuck, like, and two members of staff like, are you all right? Like patting her on the back and stuff. I was thinking, fucking hell, like what's going on? And then she starts to go a bit like, not limp, but like a little bit like needs them to hold her up because she's getting a bit like panicky.
Now I'm panicking.
Yeah, don't panic.
No, I am, because...
And I'm watching going, fuck, I don't mean, even if she, like, do you know, I'm like, I was paying enough attention for any governing bodies watching, but it's very football specific, that. And like, I know I have to like check for immediate danger before I swoop in. Anyway, she sort of like killed over the self-serve a little bit. I'm like, fucking hell. Like, so eventually I'm like, I can't, I'm going to have to, not because I have any qualification in it, but as a decent human being, I'm like, I should be checking in on this. So I go to sort of say like, is everything all right? And then at that point she kind of goes, oh yeah. And then I'm like, okay, she seems fine. But then obviously I'm listening and I'm feeling like, I need to know what's going on here. Was she choking? Whatever. Oh yeah, it's just my own spit. Do you ever do? No, like, she went, yeah, no, normally I do it at home, like it's a fucking hobby. Like, yeah, no, do you know what I thought I'd do at work? Just sort of pass the time. Yeah, I do it at home for a laugh all the time. What you do is you get a bit of spit and just sort of tilt your head back, and then it kind of goes sort of down the wrong pipe, and then you flap and panic. But yeah, you can tell now, like, it's almost, I'm not saying she would have rather died, but I'm sure at least one part of her brain is going, it'd be a lot easier if I just died now, because this is so fucking awkward. Because then, like, her colleagues were kind of doing that whole, like, oh, yeah, no, definitely. Oh, if I had a quid, I wouldn't be working here. Like, the amount of times I've nearly died on my own spit. And it just felt so fucking awkward. I think you should get, like, a day's compassionate leave. like, if something like that happens to you, it's too embarrassing, because she's then got to just carry on working the self-serve, knowing that, like, me and, like, 4 other people have just watched her sort of being, like, like the one from fucking Dark Crystal. I am still Emperor. Yeah, it was just fucking like, I was thinking, but what you do? You can't do the Heimlich maneuver for spit. Do you know what I mean? Like, very weird. But just asked, she's like, obviously went really bright red, and I don't think it was due to like oxygen debt. I think it's because she was just mortified that she's just done that in public. Like, the girls that were sort of around her both just walked off, and you think, that's how you get nicknames, man. And to be fair, lucky it was a girl and 2 girls helping her, because they're less brutal. They actually have empathy. But if that was a guy, oh yeah. I mean, already like the nicknames flying around my head. All of them sound like sort of taglines on a porno, but yeah. You're getting a reputation for that. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, very awkward, and secondhand embarrassment was real. So right, I've got written down here, M and the Milkman, and that sounds like a sort of niche porn title that's involving someone close to me. But like, I was cooking, I had headphones in because I need to. Like, I like cooking, but it's not that interesting. Do you know what I mean? So I have to have like a little podcasting or whatever. And my dog starts going bananas. And I'm like, shut up, dog. Shut the fuck up. Like, because he's just going mad. Then I go to, like, get round the stairs to be like, you know, get eye contact with him and just be like, you know, shut the fuck up. What are you doing? Realise my wife's at the door, which is why he's going bananas. So I'm like, well, you know, what's going on there then? So I sort of nosy over. And it's this guy going, obviously, because then you pay your milk in the arrears of the week before. And then the milk will then arrive the next day. And she's like, oh, okay, right. So... But I know we've just done a budget, you know. We've done our own sort of budget, like the Labour have recently done, and we won't get into that because I'm not a political person at all. I have no fucking idea. As long as the rich are taking most of the brunt and the poor and those that are most vulnerable aren't, we're all good. I saw someone bemoaning the fact that the VAT discount rate for private schools is being scrapped and going, well, it's just not fair. Fucking diddums, mate. Like, diddums. Why are you getting discounts on your VAT? Like, I was a supply teacher for 7 years, right? By choice. I was offered many permanent roles, but didn't want to do marking, didn't want to work Mondays. But kids would turn up to school having not had breakfast, where their family can't afford to feed them. Staff are buying their own shit for their classes. Like, staff out of their own pocket are buying exercise books, textbooks. Like, and, fucking Cecil Bogglebrush. Oh, you're not getting your fucking discount on your VAT for private school. Fucking tough titties, mate. Oh, then we can't afford to go. All right. Put them in normal school then. Maybe they'll get an understanding of how the other half live. And when you use your nepotism to get them into positions of power, maybe they might have a little bit of sympathy for the majority of people they'll be making decisions on the behalf of. But anyways, we've done our own little budget where it's just like, we're trying to aggressively pay down some debt. It's nothing crazy, but just, you know, moving and stuff like that. There's a bit of a credit card debt and we're just trying to clear it basically. And we've managed to just be really like, well, I've cut this and do this. We can get it down from being like 3.5 years down to about 18 to 20 months. But we have to sort of cut back there and be tight here. And so we do all that. So I know we're not going to be taking on a fucking milkman tariff. Like, but my wife's just much more agreeable than me. Like, I won't even open the fucking door. And if I do and realise it was a mistake to do so, I see anything high-vis, clipboard, whatever the fuck, gum, the door's getting shut immediately, right? But she's sort of like, you know, nodding along like Garth Crooks. Let's go in there now. And eventually I just sort of like put my hand on her on her elbow and I'm like, Em, like, we know we're not going to do this. Let's just let him move on. She's like, okay, yeah, sorry, shuts the door. And then, so she comes in, I'm like, why'd you entertain it? Just say no thank you. Like, you know you're not going to do it. She's like, well, I mean, just, you know, he's just a sweet old man. I'm like, yeah, but it might explain why he still thinks it's relevant to do this as a job. But, like, you know, while we're also here, can we also just confirm that we don't need a fucking knocker to come wake us up at 6:30 with a big stick on our window? We don't need a stable boy for the horses out the back. We also don't need an Amish gentleman to come round and churn us our fucking butter. All right, because it's 2024. And if I want milk, I'll go to the fucking shop and buy some milk. All right, let's just make that very, very clear. But he's just a sweet old man. And I'm like, yeah, okay, fine, I get it. But equally, he's trying to sell you milk, not make friends. So you know? But then she was like, well, no, I agree. Like, I weren't going to do it. But now I come across like a battered wife. And I was like, what do you mean? So, well, as far as he's concerned, you've just been telling the doctor to shut the fuck up. And then you've come to take me by the arm and go, listen, love, just shut the fucking door. All right. We're not getting milk, you fucking... So, yeah, I basically played the role of Trevor. And she was Wee Mo in that setup. And that is a very niche fucking reference. But, yeah, she's too agreeable. And, like, that's why I love her. She's really kind and nice. But I think, like, it's quite a well-documented thing. And it won't be in all cases, but females tend to be slightly less, more agreeable than males. And, again, there will be people on the other side. Don't fucking start. I've got quite comfortable in my life just being like, no, get fucked. Like, if I don't want to do it, no. The word no is so empowering. Like, seriously. And just being comfortable saying no. And I've not always been good at that. But also to myself, because sometimes I'll go above and beyond, and I physically ain't got the time for it. Then a new bit of, you know, work will come in, or can you just, and I'll be like, yeah, okay. Then I'd stress about it and get pissed off about it and be like to my wife, I get fucking no time for a fart. I think I've always got fucking shit to do. But sometimes you've got to take control of that and be like, nah, I can't do it. I ain't got the time. If it's that urgent, then you're going to have to find someone else to do it. Like, or, you know, find another way to give me the time to get that shit done. And I think when you do a lot of stuff which is self-employed, which is what a lot of my stuff is, you've got to manage that shit. Because you get ridden hard enough when you're working for someone else. When you're working for you, there's that guilt aspect that comes in as well. That whole feast or famine idea. And I was chatting to my mate Matt, actually, who has just completed his first leg of his tour. I banged the poster up again there. The second leg's coming next year. And we talk a lot about that. With what he does especially, where he even though he's finished the first leg of his tour, everyone said to him, like, so what now? Are you going to be like, you know, relaxing, resting a bit? And he's like, no, I'm back doing weekends in the comedy clubs. And he's like, I probably should be. But you have that sort of mentality of you need to hoard and store, and, you know, you never know when it's going to run dry. And, you know, he's a very fucking funny comedian. So obviously I, from the outside, can go, mate, you're going to be very fine for a very long time. But yeah, you got to sort of take control of that shit. And my wife will sometimes get dragged into it on the phone as well. And she has this phone voice and she denies it. And I know she'll be listening, shaking her head right now. But she'll sort of start putting her T's. Like when her mum comes around, she does the same. Like, I think it's better to do this. She starts putting her T's in. And she doesn't normally do that. But when she's on the phone, it is, yes. All of a sudden she's like, hello, you have missed, you've called the number for 07542. She starts talking like that. I'm like, what's all that about? Like, just be yourself. Why are you trying to impress them? They're just trying to flog you a fucking, like, an upgraded fucking mobile contract. They're not going to go, oh, she doesn't pronounce her T's in better. Nah, fuck off. We're not giving her phone coverage. But yeah, so all I'm saying is we'll get our own fucking milk. All right? So there's been a bit of, like, this is technically spotted, I suppose. Obviously, we've had Halloween fallout. And by the way, like, our village is a bit like, hey, be ready for Halloween. I think I told you about this. It's wild. It's crazy here. And do you know what? It is actually ridiculous. Like, it's Ramo. We didn't go out in the end. We were toying with the idea of taking our daughter out. But, I mean, to be fair, she ended up unwell anyway. But she's only 2, so. Like 2.5. She's obsessed with Halloween. But I think the actual practical part of going in and knocking on a door and saying trick or treat, she'd just sort of hide behind us. Then all of a sudden, it's just 2 adults walking around asking people for chocolate. And I'm not completely against that, nor are others, as I'll get to in a second. But it's rammed. And she would have just not. It'd have been too much for her. But I think people come from other places to, like, celebrate and trick or treat in our village. And it's like, fucking, go back to where you fucking came from. We have very much a mini microcosmic, like, they come over here, taking our fucking Haribo. But it gets absolutely busy as fuck. But in the day of Ring doorbells, it isn't stopping people just emptying full bowls into their bag and fucking off by the seams. And that's what the drama's been. I did screen grab it, bear with. But like, what's ridiculous is it seems as though it's like adults doing it as well, which is crazy to me. Right, here we go. I cannot believe that I put out a bowl with sweets that I put out for... Okay, you've used words put out twice in one sentence there. I cannot believe that I've put out a bowl with sweets that I put out of love for your children. We'll leave that. To enjoy, only to find out the people have been taking it all. First, it was an older teenager with a golden mask. Took all the sweets, so I put some more out for the children to enjoy a half hour later, and a group of teenagers decided to raid the bowl again. So I had to take it in while I was watching a movie with my siblings and put some more in. Afterwards, another group of teenagers came knocking on our door an hour later. I handed them the sweet bowl. I gave the sweets to them, but they grabbed handfuls. When I tried to put the bowl behind me, one of them grabbed the bowl out of my hand and tipped it into their bag and run off. That's fucking bullshit.
Megan?
Like, that's like aggressive. I didn't have a doorbell camera, so I couldn't post photos of them. I've forgotten what they look like, but I can't believe how greedy people have turned this year. It's not just this year, it's every fucking year. I can see why the streets are more quiet this year comparing to last. It's a shame the Halloween spirit had to be ruined by a few teens this year. I decided I will not be handing out sweets so people keep on being greedy next year. But, like, the whole I can't believe it, I don't believe it. If you put a bowl of sweets out, right, and obviously someone reaching and grabbing the bowl out of your hands, that's fucking bullshit. That's like, Megan, don't do that. That's fucked. But if you're going to put a whole bowl of sweets out, kids are just going to fucking take the sweets. Do you know what I mean? It's not the whole, like, don't press the red button. They're going to press the red button. It's too tempting for them. Like, I'm trying to think what my adult equivalent would be. Someone puts out, like, a sort of, you know, a big tray of Jaffa cakes, or say if, like, you could somehow put into a physical existence free time and put that on a doorstep. Only take 10 minutes, mind. I am taking fucking months, possibly years if it's available, right? I'm going to do that. But what's absolutely mad, someone said apparently the person with the gold mask was an adult with a child. It was posted before, shocking behaviour. Apparently he had a black bag half filled on his shoulder and his daughter had a rucksack full. Just basically going about and just cleaning up, just cleaning house. I won't leave my bowl out anymore because of the behaviour of a few. I prefer to have people not can see their costumes anyway. That's where I'm kind of at as well. If you're going to engage, and we don't, because every time the door knocks, the dog goes fucking bananas. You would have heard that earlier. It's just faff, it's stress, it's effort. So I don't. But if I was, knock on the door, give me the procession. Do you know what I mean? Trick or treat. Oh, cool. Like your costumes. That's just a black bag. Get fucked. And that would disqualify me most Halloweens when I was growing up. But do you know what I mean? Put some effort in, and then I'd hand them. But yeah, I agree. But the fact that there are like adults coming in and just doing it, and do you know what? It's just paying for your junk food for the next month or two, isn't it? And times are hard, so, you know, got to respect the hustle. But yeah, it looked crazy busy out there. I tell you, we had a touch. We got a Pizza Hut instead. Other pizza places are available. And my wife realised she ordered the wrong base. We wanted deep pan. She got this like, oh God, don't. That's a little side story. My mate we were in Benicazim for a music festival. Excellent music festival, by the way. It's overnight, so when it's cool, you listen to the music and enjoy the music. Then in the day, you can sleep off at the beach. But like, he was trying to get over this language barrier. He wanted a deep pan pizza and kept just saying deep pan louder and more aggressively. And then what arrived was just a travesty, and it was hilarious. But anyway, it's not that funny now, granted. That's how we talk about nicknames. How you can get stupid nicknames. One of the guys who was on that festival trip is called Carbonara Dundee now, because he bought a stupid fucking hat, like a kind of cowboy hat, and got like carbonara sauce and chips. And now he's called Carbonara Dundee. This is how stupid nicknames come about. But anyway, we wanted deep pan. My wife realised she'd gone for the wrong one. She phoned up immediately afterwards and was like, hey, I just put this order in to this address. Just wanted to change it out if there's still time to change the base to a deep pan. No, yeah, no problem. What arrives? Not deep pan. Fucking obviously. So one of two things have happened there. One, they've gone, yeah, I'll fix it. Yeah, definitely. Dickheads. Fuck them. Or they don't understand the concept of, I ordered the wrong thing. Can I change it, please? Don't know which, but anyway. It comes, and do you know what the pizza base we got? It was like this garlic and herb, like crust one. It was actually quite nice. But anyways, another knock at the door. Dog starts going bananas. I'm, what the fuck, man? Like, what's going on? Anyway, Pizza Hut dude. Sorry about that. Hands me the pizzas. But yeah, no worries, man. There's our deep pan pizza. They put the order through twice, charged us once. Needless to say, I had the last laugh. And that's sat there. And that's dinner tonight. That's fucking dinner tonight. There's fucking gorgays. Right, quick things on fireworks then. It's going to be, obviously, the 5th of November is going to come before this comes out. I just feel like it should be sanctioned displays only. Like, I've got a dog, so I'm going to put on Apocalypse Now and just really lean into the whole PTSD Vietnam flashbacks he's going to have. Is it Tuesday night? I just feel like it's mental that, and I've said this before, I don't think on this podcast, like people that I've gone to school with who struggle to comprehend the idea of solid liquids and gases in like key stage 2 science are able to walk into Aldi and buy projectile explosives. I just find that a bit fucking weird. I think it's stupid. And therefore you can then regulate when they happen as well, because there were Halloween fireworks. And then there's fireworks because, I don't know, someone found a fucking old dark chocolate bounty at the back of the fridge. And then my dog's and he's not really scared. Some dogs are really fucked up by it, like will like salivate and shake and be like, fucking hell. He's more like he wants to fight the fireworks because that's just what he is. He's a fighting man. He's a fighting dog. I watched some like a gypsy community. I don't know if that's the official term for them. Like, you know, when it's like they have an issue, so they put it out into a boxing ring where they put some ropes around some concrete, and then at the end of it they shake their hands and stuff. But he's like a fighting dog, right? And he just wants to fight fireworks. But I just feel like it's dangerous. And I'm like, will somebody please think of the children? I know it's dangerous because we pinned a Catherine wheel to a massive tree growing up and nearly set fire to the fucking tree. Would have took out about 4 houses. They were like tin-clad houses. They'd have been flattened like multi-floored Anderson shelters. Would have been flattened. Like, I'm an idiot. I shouldn't have access to projectile explosives. Like, they put it in like a little glass container in Lidl going, you know, it's dangerous so you can't help yourself. Yeah, can I buy them? Yeah, you can buy them. How much are they? Actually, really reasonably priced. It's fucking stupid. I can't get on board with it. Like, I just cannot get on board with it. But anyway, maybe, you know, you get someone going, oh, and here come the fucking annual firework moaners. It's like, yeah, but, like, what the fuck are we doing here? And also, if you're videoing firework displays, you're a dickhead. Like, that's worse than recording the fullback of the opposition taking a throw in. Like, what are you doing? You're not going to watch it back. Fireworks on a screen, pointless. Seriously, at that point, you might as well watch the dancing fruit that my daughter used to watch to get her to eat her fucking food when she was like 5 months old. Milk, drink milk. You don't need milk. Milk! But anyway, that's my views on fireworks. Also, no, I'm not done with my view on fireworks. How many times can you go... Is this yeah, it is just that, is it? I get so bored, I started to look for the rockets, try and find them before they exploded. I just don't let them all off at the same time. Fucking bah, 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 bah. And then we can all fucking go home. And no, I'm not buying that fucking like wand with a flashy light inside. Fucking £8. Because I know they're about 50p on the internet. Charlatans. Anyway, Facebook memories, and then we'll get out of here. For those who don't know, and this could be interesting, Saturday means it might be quite football heavy. I go into my Facebook memories completely fucking raw, and I judge myself accordingly, basically. Here we go then. We hope you enjoy looking back and sharing your memories on Facebook from the most recent to those long ago. Almost certainly always hate it. Aware that I'm friends with a lot of comedians who will not be up for another 3 to 4 hours, but I'm looking for World War I podcasts, audiobooks, non-fiction, because these poppies have got me feeling all great warish. More interested in the boots on the ground stuff as opposed to the politics around Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Plus, I've seen the music video. Oh, good business. Good business for Take Me Out. So I feel like I already understand all the ins and outs of that. And I ended up finding it. Dan Carlin's Hardcore Histories, Blueprint to Armageddon. Excellent. But anyway, people came through, gave some recommendations. It was good. Rugby's odd, isn't it? Foul happens. Advantage given. Carry on playing. Ball dropped. Referee, remember that foul the other day? Well, we're going to go back for a penalty to that. Like, literally. It's like, there's a foul there. Play on, go home, enjoy your Sunday lunch. Yeah, go to training, do your physio work. Right, whoop, come on, penalty kick. Yeah, remember, you grabbed his neck 3 weeks ago. Think I forgot? I didn't forget. Just fucking run it back. Very odd, definitely, completely agree with that. Yeah, comedy stuff. Radio stuff. Saturday was always going to be a bit weird. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is being released. No, not going to finish reading that one. Sometimes you have to just pull back. Alright? Sometimes you have to just pull back. It's not appropriate. I feel like I've led you up a garden path there. Right. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 is being released in Iraq and Afghanistan as The Sims. Okay? And it's culturally insensitive. I know there is a war still going on there, but I don't feel like a new war or hopefully nothing that atrocious is going to happen in any of those countries between now and this one being released. War is bad. Okay. All right? Just put that out there then. It was a joke. Okay? Not that funny. Fine. But, all right? Get off my case.
There's 3 weeks left in school. Give me a fucking break. I'm sorry for cursing.
Went out Halloween as a zombie army man. To be honest, that's a half-baked effort. I'm just wearing army fatigues, and my girlfriend at the time put a bullet wound in my head, and for some reason I've got cat whiskers. You know, maybe that was something to do with something. To be honest, I have no explanation for that. Balls was my Facebook post 16 years ago. I'm watching Formula 1. Who fucking cares? Is playing FIFA. Less people care about that. I'm just surprised I was watching Formula 1. Because this was pre-Drive to Survive, which actually made Formula 1 somehow palatable back then I had no idea about that. And my upheld belief was if you want to watch cars whiz round, go sit on a fucking roundabout. So that is weird. Must have been very bored. Back in the day when you had to just watch what was on the fucking telly. Like Dream Team on Sky 1, Sundays, 8 o'clock. Isn't it weird how the podcast always wraps up in a weird way? Anyway, I'm going to call that. The Arsenal kick off in 10 minutes against Newcastle, so my weekend can get ruined nice and early. Yeah, cool. All right. 50 minutes or so. It's been a bit weird, but we've got there. Have good weekends next weekend, which is actually this weekend. Next and this can fuck off, by the way. Final closing statement. Next and this. Next Saturday. The next Saturday is the Saturday that's coming next, but that always means the Saturday after. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Because I go, no, that's this Saturday. Yeah, but no. It's like if you're in a queue in a shop and they go, who's next? And you're the next one in line. You don't go, oh no, I'm this. You're next. No, you're next. Sort it out. Megan, 2 Unacceptables on a Saturday morning. This Saturday, next Saturday. Shatterday. Comedy Gold. See ya.